Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is, of course, still the best of three match between Barca Esports and Posse PH for the Female Esports League Elite Philippines qualifier, and this is going to be game two. Now, Posse PH will have all of their bans, and let's see how this pick and ban is gonna play out. Of course, we'll be your shoutcasters. We're gonna be try-casting this for you. I'm Hiron. With me are Meta and Iconic.
So we had a bet earlier after game one.
I did not agree to that.
They were all convinced that
No.
Barcy is gonna win it on this game too. But my vote is on Posse PH for this game because I just believe in amateur tournaments. Bans mean a lot. But I may be wrong. I may be right. But let's see.
In a
here on
perfect
this
world,
game.
yes, bans mean a lot.
In a perfect world, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. When League of Legends, if you view it as a chess game,
Yeah, dude.
but then when you incorporate the humanity, things get fun.
That's why AIs make the best chess players. We should develop an AI
To play League of
to
Legends,
play League of Legends. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
If
but
you
it seems-
tuned in to Games Done Quick, you actually saw bots go finish games themselves, right? So
Yeah.
maybe play bots.
But of course, let's get into pick and ban right now. Karma, Jinx, and Braum banned away by Barcy. Posse PH. It seems like they're
Not banning.
they're not
missed
banning.
a ban.
Again, I'm pretty sure that their ban penalty earlier was just for that game one. I'm not sure if the marshal extended that. We didn't get any reports, but if they did, I guess
Well-
there goes my bet. Or maybe it's not. It's not
No, it's
unproven.
okay. Bans are totally relevant here. They really are. Like, boom,
Like,
Urgot.
Just to be very objective about it, even with the lost bans from Posse PH, it doesn't seem like Barcy Esports was able to make concrete use of having so much freedom with their champion picks. They still priority pick Tarek, which is not a super powerful pick. The rest of their picks as well. They let Posse PH pick up the powerful Irelia. But they still won the game. So right now, let's see how Barca Esports will fare against Posse PH in this game two of this best of three. And we've said, the winner of this finals will fly to Singapore next month to face off against other Southeast Asian teams.
One of the bigger mistakes that Posse PH had in the last game was that Rift Herald dance that you saw just went all the way into the base, like from the pit onto their equipment slot, and then just somehow all the way into the base. And we saw that in another game where the teams just hesitated to just defend that RH, those turrets. And if we see it here again, I'm not sure. I hope they learn.
Yeah, Posse PH, they have shown that they can adapt to circumstances, but that's such a huge blow to morale.
It
And
is.
if they don't recover from that even now, they have to reset their mental state here and make sure that they can get a cleaner game around here. So they will be picking up the Lissandra, they will be picking up the Kaisa and the Kazakhs. As for Barcy, Tristana, Kindred locked in for Wicked, and seems like Missy Hop's still gonna get that Oriana. What do you think so far of these
Yeah,
picks, Iconic?
like the thing is while talking about morale, I just can't imagine what Posse PH feels right now because losing 3.5 turrets in 1 minute, I wonder how that feels. Like it's like the rug just got swept off your feet and then you just didn't know what the hell just happened. Like they got that. It's like Wicked and Missy Hops just stole that game straight off the bat. Like, how can you come back from that if you can't even turtle? So it just looked like Barcy put the nail into the coffin and Posse couldn't do anything. They were just sitting ducks until Barcy ended the game.
Yeah, a lot of that was their decision to stick around that bot side. They felt like they had to commit, but they just lost everything from that. Opened up the rest of the game. But of course, this is a new game in this match, so we're gonna see will Posse PH fare better with these three champions that they're setting up for the composition. We're gonna see after the bans finish up here for Barcy, banning away the Karma. They don't want that to accompany the Kaisa and the bot side.
And Lulu as well. to
Lulu
get
as
that
well
out of
banned
the
out.
game. The thing is, what's so nice, not really nice, it's been a tiring day, especially for these ladies. When we talk about do or die matches, when we talk about just trying to reset your mental state, you go back somehow to your comfort picks. and I think that's what Posse PH is going for right now.
Yeah,
It's
Leona.
not their standard draft, that's for sure. Just confidently locking in that Lissandra. Maybe their mid is tired and just wants that that click to win, and then suddenly getting that Kha'Zix first rot. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I wonder what will change in the mid lane, because that's the story. Remember, like, inferior matchup with the Orianna into Irelia. Now you have a somewhat better matchup, but this is still skewed towards Orianna's side. She has more range, she has more sustain, she has more utility compared to this Lissandra. The Lissandra basically provides like a Malzahar pick, but aside from that, Orianna is just going to destroy her in lane. We're going to see the exact same top lane. No, we actually see Ornn against the undead zombie Sion. And matchup wise, I just wonder who's gonna get more grass procs. It doesn't really matter. It's just a fun mini game for that wet noodle fight until mid game where it goes to the team fights.
Yeah, because both of these top laners going to be much more relevant once they interact with the rest of the champions. But yeah, at least now, Janie doesn't suffer from a perceived to be bad matchup. But let's see how Lady Melodious plays against that now, since she did have trouble even with Ananar trying to dodge away those pillars. But we're going to see Sion is a lot more inherently beefy and can take the punishment.
The thing is, we're also seeing the Taric Kindred combo that won Barcy that first game we casted of them, and the way they had that work is they just really waited out all those bursts so that they can turn around that team fight for them, and they somehow able to really win it there.
Yeah.
So if Posse PH falls into the same trap, because we're not sure if they actually saw that game, if they saw this comp in action, and if they did, they should be smart to just get out when the Kindred ult is there. They have no way to like kick them out of there, or else they'll just be falling into the same trap.
Yeah, and the thing is, Posse has a lot of AoE damage, but again, Barcy has a lot of AoE mitigation. You have the Kindred with the Lamb's Respite. You have the
Cosmic Radiance
coming out from the Taric. Like, how do you deal with this? If they even plan on going onto your Lamb's Respite, you have the Tristana to push them away. You have the Orianna ult Shockwave as well. Just to, dismember them.
Yeah.
Dismember them, not even disrupt them. Dismember them with, especially when you have all that magic penetration and that damage. So, I don't know how Posse PH is gonna do against this composition, considering that both have a decent amount of early game with the Kindred, with the Kha'Zix. And I feel like, again, this game is going to be dependent on who wins the mid lane matchup. Because it is winnable for the Lissandra, but it is
quite difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the junglers will have a lot of influence on that as well. Mid lane and jungle, the classic combo here. We're going to see how they interact. And really, for Posse PH, as you said, they can go for. They have the Kha'Zix and they have the Leona. They have the Kai'Sa as well. So if they can get a real quick kill against one of the key members of Barcy before the Cosmic Radiance procs, and if Wicked is not quick enough on the draw to actually get the Lamb's Respite, they can take away a key member, and then Barcy Esports doesn't have the firepower to back up the rest of the fight. But if they don't get that kill in time, they have no tools to get out there. Only Okay Kalamba has any tools whatsoever to get out of that fight if they linger too long and the Lamb's Respite goes through, if the Cosmic Radiance goes through, because the deal with Leona, if you go in, you're going to be there for a while, and for Kha'Zix, unless the wings are evolved, once you get in there, you're not getting out of there.
And that's the thing about these tournaments, right? Especially with this much of a stake, at the end of the day, you have to temper your fight and flight instincts. And we've seen in so many games that they just can't find enough courage to actually initiate when you need to, when you want to, and that's something that Posse PH definitely has no room to just hesitate on, especially with their comp, especially with their standing right now.
They can't be the deer in the headlights in this game, because Barcy Esports is one win away from taking away this entire series. And Posse PH, they did knock Barcy down to the loser's bracket before, but now Barcy has made a full recovery here, and they're poised. They have the momentum in this match.
Yeah, they've actually come from 4 straight wins, if I'm not mistaken, fighting their way through the loser's bracket after Posse sent them there, and they're just on fire right now.
If you can endure that the length of 4 games, and you can win all 4 of those and still be composed enough to make those macro plays that won them the first game, that's gonna be a huge boost to morale. It's gonna be a huge boost to their momentum, their mental state. In addition to their already apparent skill, not just in microplay but in the strategy game as well.
Yeah, and it's just showing so far, like the experience, you know. I feel like the experience coming out from Wicked is also showing, considering that she is a veteran, probably the most seasoned among all 10 players right now on Summoner Shift, because she has been active in the female amateur scene for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
Given how much we've talked about these teams and their journey, and seeing as this may be the last game, are there any, like, which players for you do you think is one of the most notable players right now onto this series that you think will make a ton of difference on how this is gonna go?
For me, it's gonna be on Missy Hops, because Missy Hops has been making the plays, always getting kills onto her counterpart. We saw the Ari into Lissandra, we saw the Annie play as well, and we'll just see how well she does into this Orianna into Lissandra matchup.
I think Wicked's gonna play a lot into it as well. Not quite as she would be on like a Sejuani on a ganking jungler, but definitely the jungler always controls a lot of the flow of the game here. So it's both on Aticorn and Wicked to make it a little bit easier for their laners. And of course, we've loaded onto the Rift here, just regular lines of scrimmage. Barcy versus Posse PH for the finals of the Female Esports League Elite Philippines qualifier. This is game 2 of this best of 3. This could maybe the last game if Barcy pulls through their momentum.
This is match point for Barcy Esports. If they win this, they become the Philippine representatives for FSL Elite onto Singapore next month. And if not, they have to prove themselves once again. Either way, both teams would have to face each other again just to get that slot.
Definitely. Seems like right now both of our junglers starting around the bottom side of the map.
And as you can see, very standard starts coming out from both sides. You can see they've already adapted the Pixel Brush wards. You can see that Posse already has wards on both Pixel Brushes, so they can actually tell what kind of route Wicked is gonna go. Wicked has been starting with this route multiple times. A very weird start coming out from the Kazakhs, going blue and then wait 15 seconds for the scuttler, but for really good RNG, the right scuttler gets marked, but is it going to be immediately taken by this Kazakhs? What beautiful RNG for Posse. Looks like we might have a Game 3 series. The stars are aligning, Hiron.
You're really gonna really drill that into the people's mind. But
they need to know that you are a supernaturalist.
I'm not.
I think I can vouch that you are one, Hiron.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
fake news. You're fake news.
But yeah, as you can see, the Pixel Brush just gave them the necessary information. You can see that the Posse can see that that Wicked is on the left side of the river doing the Scuttle Crab, and had 8 CS, so you can already decipher what kind of camps Wicked went. And I hope that Aticorn can actually be able to make use of this information, because even if you gather the information, it's only half the battle.
Yeah, it's really a Promethean task here. You've got the numbers right in front of you. It's up to you to use it, and if Aticorn is not able to materialize that into action against Wicked or any of her laners, then that information doesn't really do her much.
Yeah, so
Man, that Orianna's skills and autos really hurt a lot in this early game against Okay Ka Lang Ba on that Lissandra right now. Almost half health earlier on that small trade. Not gonna look good for Okay Ka Lang Ba,
Kindred,
given
looking
that the
for something
Kindred
here.
is there.
Okay, just
Yeah,
standard escape,
Yep.
glacial path right out of there.
Not too jittery, burning that flash, but Kindred is waiting there. Look at Wicked, she's still
patient.
there.
Very, very patient indeed. The life of a hunter, but seems like she is gonna rotate and maybe go back to clearing her camps. It is quite important for her to keep up in farming levels to Aticorn. They do have that deep ward, so they should know where Aticorn is. This will influence their decisions, hopefully.
yeah, and what's interesting is that the Scion backed immediately just
Oh,
to
man.
get
cloth
cloth
armor?
armor,
Wait.
control ward, and a potion. I don't understand why
Con-
he's...
Cloth armor?
Yeah, and Doran shield actually to start. Also, usually you see him run corrupting potion, but bizarre start so far. Maybe Lady Melodious just doesn't want to get headbutted again multiple times over and over again.
Yeah, but Janie deals a lot of magic damage as well.
And Caster Curse right there gets headbutted, knocked up into the air, trades a grass proc. So, as you can see, it's just the same old. I'm not gonna dodge these pillars.
Deja vu. I've been in this place before. Seems like that.
Ooh. Oh,
Yeah.
Ikan Hangbal really getting chunked down. Mana is almost non-existent. HP as well, and it
Man,
might
look
be
at
the
that, Lady
same thing for
Melodious.
Lady Melodious.
Oh, that's
Two
quite
bars now.
unfortunate. It seems like her kryptonite is just that Ornn for the past 2 games. Like, she was doing pretty decently in the rest of her games, but this Ornn is just bringing out
Yeah.
a lot of her nerve here.
I feel like the stream engineer is just cursing Lady Melodious right now. Every time we look onto the top lane, suddenly she just gets knocked up immediately. One more time, bam! There you go, solo kill.
Oh,
Could
no.
even- oh,
A
could
flash
potentially- yeah,
in
that's gonna be-
gets the
And then,
It's gonna be a
ta-da!
The thing is, Genie is just able to time every time Melodious tries to crank up the axe and like, oh, I can ram you and kill you for like 2 more bars. It just keeps
I
happening.
don't understand.
Yeah,
like,
and,
Lady
like-
Melodious can release that axe early. That is an option.
Yeah, but again, this is obviously the spectator curse right now. Every time we see it, something bad happens to the
It's
side.
like-
So let's
yeah.
just keep the action
It's
onto
like
the
we're in a
mid lane.
sitcom.
Yeah.
And this is like the 2nd episode of the sitcom, and every time the camera cuts to this character, it's them getting like headbutted and knocked up.
I don't feel like getting knocked up every time the camera passes. It applies well in a sitcom, but at least in this game, getting knocked up just means you give up a grass pro.
Yeah.
Atacorn still choosing her targets right now. Maybe gonna go up top to help Lady Melodious a bit from that setup. But Janie is already level 6.
It's quite dangerous as well. At the corn, not the tankiest. And Janie does have the Call of the Forge God.
Oh,
Seems like
there
they
you go.
will try. Void Spikes do miss, but the Call of the Forge God might not come in time. Headbutts in the wrong direction. They're gonna try and dive. Janie
Oh,
could trade a kill in
ay.
turn. He's gonna be 1-for-1 on the top side.
Too bad that her wings were in cooldown during that time. Would have been a clean kill. I guess that ram actually still made it to put in some soft CC onto those two.
Yeah, and wow, so
2-1.
trade
Oh.
1-for-1. Usually, as a top laner, when you do get ganked and you're able to trade 1-for-1, that's actually a victory for you because your jungler has so much breathing room. And as you can see, Wicked, for the first time this game, actually has the CS lead over her counterpart.
Oh man, and then she's just going around here. Gonna be
Doing a
interested in
dragon, and that's an
Ooh,
infernal
Infernal.
dragon for free.
Barcy has always been consistently on point on these Drake. On
Yeah.
Yeah,
these
this has to
Drakes.
become a meme where Mika Daima is like mine,
Yeah.
mine.
Even
Everything's mine.
Scuttlers.
Even Scuttler's mine.
Even when you damage it most, it's mine.
Yeah, Drake mine.
mine. Like
Like someone could pick like Shyvana for some reason, and that's a Drake mine.
mine.
They just constantly take it. Yeah, but yeah, objective control coming in from Wicked, pretty on point. Really aggressively taking a lot of these neutral objectives. But
What
look,
is interesting though is the catalyst of eons coming out from Janie. Like just that infinite sustain, but considering the side of Posse being more AD focused, I'm surprised she didn't go for the Iceborne Gauntlet first item.
yeah, could be quite useful across the board there. But it seems like Iceborne
Not
Gauntlet or
Not again.
Oh, there you go. He got a crack.
not
without
this
getting-
time. Not this
nice.
time.
Not this time.
Getting
Good
the
job.
timing in.
Caster Curse not working anymore.
But then
Pog.
somehow Missy Hops
Missy
is up
Hops
top.
is traveling the world right now.
Just clearing the vision. I see a ward, I kill.
Even if it's not in my lane.
Well,
Yeah.
she has the freedom to do that because she's been bullying Okay Ka Lang Ba for
Quite.
the most part of this laning phase. So she has a freedom. She has her freedom to go wherever she wills. If Lady Melodious opens herself up to a gank, then Missy Hops would have been there. And so far, at the corn, only getting that 1-for-1 gank she has not been able to get any more pressure.
Oh, there you go.
Not again.
Well,
No
to
more.
be fair, spectate kind of procs when there's damage involved, and it just so happens that the main damage source for Ornn is that headbutt.
Yeah, and
To
as
be
you can
fair.
see,
Oh, there
another
you go.
1v2.
Oh man, this could be
no.
another solo
Oh, yeah.
kill. I think Lady Melodious has just accepted it at this point. But it seems like Attic Corn will be around the area to go for. But
actually
once
gives
again,
the last hit to
yeah,
him.
but then again, it's still a 1-for-1, and they use Attic Corn as a resource. And look at that, Wicked going immediately to this mid lane to try and pressure Okay Ka Lang Ba.
Yeah, there's just too much attention being brought up top, even if Sion is supposed to be that safe pick against that Ornn to not die so much. But somehow, the timings of all these headbutts just gets him
Ooh.
all the time.
Just a little bit of a trading there. Okay, Lamba, she may want to commit onto this
Mm-hmm.
ignite onto Missy Hops. Gets
Wow.
the prison. However, she has a cleanse, and the shockwave is just
And-
enough to get her out. And Wicked, hungry for blood here, could try and go for Okay Ka Lang Ba, but it seems like Lady Melodious is tired of being bullied in the top side. She goes to the mid lane.
Drops by at the mid lane. Hello, I'm here, and time to go back to top lane. Get headbutt again. This is what I'm predicting for the future. Mr.
They're
Stream
actually
Engineer,
gonna get
don't prove me wrong.
RH. They're actually gonna get RH right now. Wicked will not be getting that at the moment. Nowhere near it either.
Oh, this is just gonna trigger Wicked some more. It's like, that's
dude.
mine.
Once she sees a notification, okay, Rift Herald has been slain. Her eyes are gonna flare.
Yeah, she's just gonna get
be
triggered.
fuming.
He's gonna be triggered
And
and
Posse PH, they take this away, they might incur wrath of Wicked here, and but they can use this.
But it's so early
Yeah.
into the game. I'm not sure if they're even in that proactive position to use it though.
That's true.
the only time I feel like they could possibly use it is if they set up a dive. But basically, the story of the entire tournament is no one wants to dive. Even some outside personalities like streamers also mentioned like how passive the games have been today. The only people that make controversy, make changes to the lane are the junglers. So we'll see how proactive Posse will be with that Rift Herald.
Yeah, because even when some of these teams, even with a 100% chance to succeed on a dive, they don't take the chance, or at least they don't see the opportunity, and they have to, stop thinking that the towers are invincible bastions of peace and sanctuary, because they have limits too, and the more people you have, the less people are getting hit by the turret. Seems like Janie, at this point, Lady Melodious can fight back, but she's incredibly behind at this point.
It's gonna be 20 seconds till the next Drake. We can't quite see what the element is right now, but we're gonna expect quite a bit of action there in a bit. Call of the Forge
Janie,
God!
Call of the Forge God,
Suddenly.
in line with Wicked, giving her a gank here, and she's hungry for blood, marked for death, and it seems like Wicked will be taking away an important kill for her repertoire.
That's just unfortunate for the side of Lady Melodious. And given that, Posse PH is just gonna turn to the bot side to try to make something happen. They do summon RH as they use that as a distraction for them to take that Drake on that.
Can't quite
Yeah,
see
it
it.
does look like it is an Infernal Drake. We are not too sure. There you go. It's another Infernal Drake. And surprisingly, the Rift Herald does get a little bit of value because this is the first ever dragon that Barcy has lost this entire tournament. Because all the time, Wicked's like, mine, this time, not mine.
Quite unfortunate. Lady Melodious is making a short appearance here in the bottom side.
Uni actually used her ult onto creeps. Like, I'm not sure if it was just to stop the creeps there or it was a misclick, but she did.
Really?
Yeah, it's on cooldown right, just to stop the creeps there.
Oh, maybe
Quite-
they just really wanted that
Yeah, just
chip
that wave
damage.
clear, chip damage as well.
Yeah, I love me some
quite an-
turret plates.
Quite interesting. Thunking.
Tonking. No, but honestly, like, if you do get multiple plates, they are worth almost a champion.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of gold. You can't deny that. It's just so much value. And they did commit the Rift Herald, but net gain for Posse there was another Infernal Drake and a few turret plates.
Usually at this point, they'll be wanting to use that Solar Flare just offensively. So it seems like they're confident that they won't want to fight in the next in the span of the cooldown of the ultimate coming in from the Leona.
Posse PH gravitating down at bot lane though. Aticorn may recalls back. Either way, okay ka lang ba? Not gonna take that as a sign to initiate something. A lot of pings going off, however.
Right
Yeah,
on the mid
and
lane.
the CS discrepancy between the solo laners, which has been the story of the game so far. You know, like the solo laners are doing really, really well. This Ornn is doing a lot of work, so much better than previously against the Gnar. So Yonk, and
Once
then
again.
suddenly cancels the decimating smash coming out from the Scion.
Aticorn gonna find
Aticorn.
Wicked on the side, but has to flash out into safety instead, unless that Missy Hops will be getting that kill.
Yeah, as soon as she saw Missy Hops, she got a Mamba out of there. So, flash well used, but that's a flash not available for the next around 4 minutes here, and that might be useful if Aticorn is not able to materialize a kill or escape because she doesn't have that flash. That might allow Barcy to open up more options for themselves.
I think this is the second time Aticorn had to kind of go in and then
Yoink.
yoink out, and that's because they don't have a lot of offensive wards in place just to be more proactive about it, and that's giving that Kha'Zix just not a lot of
Option.
use and options at the moment.
And so far, Barcy has had the most ward uptime, I believe, in the important spots of the map. Earlier in the game, they had a lot of control on the bot side. Now they're focusing a lot of it, their control wards on the top side of the river here.
Oh, blue team, Barcy actually gonna get that first
First
turret
turret
down
of
on
the
bot.
game, even more gold, and it's on a champion that they want to actually have the gold, accelerating the power spike for this Tristana.
Yeah, and as you can see right now, Infernal Drake coming up in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Barcy, I feel like would have priority over this,
Ooh.
considering
Ooh, just
Has
a
to-
little bit of healing coming in from that frozen tomb. Not able to finish off the kill here. Has to start running away from Aticorn. Very, very aggressive. She does not want to push her luck right there, and she just goes straight invisible out.
yeah, the Vorpal spikes, if I'm not mistaken, not landing.
Oh,
sitting at
Jen
minions.
Jen.
man,
so
Jen
close.
here though, it seems like she really wanted that kill. Called the Forge God from across the border. Janie not quite turning that into any value for her team, but Drake is going to come up very soon. They will want to establish control over there, but Wicked, of course, she needs her marks. She needs to take down the Skull Crab.
Yeah, and aside from that, there's a lot of marks going towards the side of the Kindred. She's been uncontested so far, except that first mark that, for RNG's sake,
Uh-oh.
actually worked well.
Oh man, Solofair not quite hitting. It does slow her down, but there is that exploding shot to get them away from AIM.
Posse
Yeah.
PH is getting so I don't know,
Antsy.
nervous, anxious about it, and they're just forcing all these picks and skirmishes when they shouldn't, where they shouldn't. And I'm not sure if it's the nerves getting to them or it's just Barcy just being a step ahead.
It might have been the nerves, but that was actually really good from Posse because Ains didn't hold on to her flash. She could have just used that Buster shot to push them away, but also used the flash for some reason, and so it was actually a decent trade because the dragon fight is about to start in 5 seconds. Barcy already has priority over it. Like we were
Wicked
talking about.
going a bit too close. Wicked getting chunked down. Trying to buy a little bit of time. But she's gonna get flashed on by Wicked, dealing lots of damage.
Uh-oh.
Shockwave onto Aticorn, not quite finishing up the kill, but MDS charges in with the Cosmic Radiance, and that is enough time for the rest of Barcy to try and finalize the kills. However, Posse PH endures. They are dealing lots of damage onto Barcy, but now Lady Melodious behind enemy lines. Genjing jumps back into the middle of 3 members of Barcy. Rocket Jump allows her to get in range for that last shot. Lady Melodious now on the run, and that was quite a chaotic fight, but Barcy comes out on top.
Yeah, this is what happened. Barcy had priority. They were first to the rotation, and then Okay Kalamba just has a brain fart moment of going 1v3 there and then wasting her ultimate, not getting that much value out of it. Lady Melodious trying to land the decimating smash, hasn't learned her lesson after
even in
19
bot
minutes
lane.
into the game.
Even in bot lane, she's
Change-
getting headbutt.
Change the lane, but you can't change the game. Basically, that's what's happening. You can see that the orange is non-stop outsmarting the Scion. Every time she charges the decimating smash, yoink, headbutt.
Everything changes, everything stays the same.
It's just that it's the same game that Barcy has played in a different game. Prior to this, we saw that they were on the choke point, and Wicked, and onto that Kindred and MDS on that Taric did that huge stall again. That's why it looked like an extended team fight. And okay ka lang ba has to ask herself that same question.
Yeah,
at the
because
moment.
right now, it seems like she's dropping the ball. Not even
Yeeting the
Luden's.
ball. Yeeting the ball.
Yeeting the ball right now because Luden's not even completed, and then her counterpart already has Luden's plus a Magi's.
Same
What?
go ahead.
Oh, you're right.
And as you can see, like the confidence coming out of Missy Hops, proving that my pick for MVP is working out. But
Missy
Wicked,
Hops.
looking at that Infernal, it might be a 50-50.
But Wicked,
Red
it
team
does
gets
go
it.
over to at the corn. Teleport coming in from Posse PH. They want to get the rest of Barca Esports. Wicked is low. She does not have access to the rest, but just yet Genjen gets taken down. Melodious is charging in heavily deep, but it seems like Missy Hops from the side is able to take down Uni, and Lady Melodious as well goes down to Ains. Will they start going for more chases? It seems like they will just rotate to mid lane.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was supposedly like Posse's win. It was supposed to be Posse's win if they just
Backed out
when
immediately,
they got the Drake, or if they just chose the right targets when they did decide initially.
Yeah, but this is what happens when you've been in the same tournament venue for half a day. Like sometimes exhaustion creeps up and it just takes a toll on you. But as you can see right now, Barcy can opt to go for Baron if they so choose. But they want to not make it 50-50. Wicked has lost the Smite fight, so they don't want to risk it.
Oh, it seems
So
like
they're
they
not
wanna
going
go
for a pick onto
Ate
Atecorn
Kalamba.
and onto OK Galang.
And it seems like in the chaos of all that, Aticorn gets taken down by and MDS as well. Gets taken down 1-for-1 so far between these two teams, but Aticorn does get taken down, trying to go for a sick flank. However, gets singled out and absolutely destroyed. MDS gets caught out at the very edge of that fight. Okay,
Oh,
Kalamba
no.
once again.
Are you okay?
Are you okay? Once
Going
again.
to 1v3 again without her ultimate. Like, I feel like it's just the exhaustion taking control of. Because one thing that you can't imagine for these players right here, especially when they haven't had like the rigorous training that most professional players undergo, is that maybe they're not used to playing League of Legends for 13 hours straight.
Yeah, it's that endurance that it's not just the skill, it's not just the macro play or the mechanics. It's also about your mental endurance and your physical endurance as well.
Consistency. These are the things that separate like a professional player from an amateur player, and we're seeing that right now because we can see like a lot of these plays are very uncharacteristic. If we look at Posse PH during their initial showing versus Barcy, they played so well, but now it feels like they're just yeeting the ball, as Hiron would say.
Definitely they've lost a lot of steam here, and Posse PH heavily demoralized at this point in the game. Exhaustion and the momentum, and that 4 turret push from game 1, I think we're still feeling, they're still reeling from the effects here, and they absolutely cannot afford to do that. 7,000 gold behind, 3 turrets behind. They do have 2 Infernals, but Barcy is still winning it out in these 5v5 full-on brawls. So it's going to be quite difficult for Posse here. They were not able to materialize on their win condition. Barcy, they might go for a dive here, going really,
There
really
you
deep.
go.
Missy
Ooh.
Hops getting the 2-man shockwave, able to finalize 2 kills as Ainz in the backside of that fight gets another turret for her team.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be an inhibitor also, just waiting for this minion wave to crash, and then when that happens, all hell is gonna break loose because Barcy have a lot of options right now. 3 versus 5.
Oh man, they're still gonna go for those dives. Okay, Kalamba puts herself in a frozen tomb, is able to survive. Lady Melodious is gonna die to that explosive shot. Aticorn has to get out of there quick. because of that low health, but in the middle of all that, the turret has fallen. Lady Melody is a zombie, does not bring anything substantial there. It's just the inhibitor being taken down. Barcy Esports is destroying Posse PH's structures one by one. And Baron is still on the table. 5 members alive for Barcy. They can't possibly get it. And if Wicked wants, she can even take the Scuttle Crab for her marks. And look at that. Game 2, Missy Hops, 25 stacks on her Magi's. Fully stacked, 407. That is quite impressive. And that is just going to keep that damage going for Barcy.
And that's despite Posse PH having more Inferno Drake stats on their side, but that doesn't matter if they can't find the fights that they wanna take. And when you guys were talking about this mental exhaustion these players have right now, one thing that's great to note throughout these games is that no matter how Barcy looked like that they were gonna lose several fights before, different members of Barcy have shown to like step up for their team. Wicked has shown to step up in her mine macro play, and Missy Hobbs is known for her Ari, for her Orianna, and Ains on that really comfortable on her Tristana. There's just too many threats on Barcy as well in the individual players, and so as a team.
Yeah.
And as you can see, like the story of the entire tournament is a lot of times the mechanical gaps between laners just snowballs into gigantic opportunities for their teams. If this were a different matchup, I feel like if you were to just remove the nameplates right now, you would be surprised what is happening, because this doesn't look like a game that should have gone this way, but it did. So there was a lot of mechanical disconnects.
Yeah, it's like all of the factors that could have went in their favor, they weren't able to capitalize on. Like you said, the stars weren't aligned.
Exactly.
For the rest of the match here, and seems like Barcy Esports, they're not even going to bother with the side lanes. They're just confident with their 10,000 gold lead, with how Posse's composition has fizzled out. They're just going to go straight, knocking onto the turrets here. Oh, the Forge God might find a lot of them. 2 members go down, and that's going to be Cosmic Radiance giving them seconds of invulnerability, and that is enough time here. Ainz, can she make it inside the respite? She does. She gets a little heal, gets taken down by Aticorn, but the rest of Barcy cleans up house. That is 2 Nexus turrets down. Barcy Esports takes down Posse 2-0 for this finals of the Female Esports League Elite Philippines qualifier, and they take it away. The tickets to Singapore
Have been stamped.
have been stamped.
And as you can see, congratulations again to Barcy Esports, who will be the Philippine representatives.
Undisputed.
Undisputed as well. Clawing their way back from the depth of the lower bracket.
Yep.
Okay, we got a little excited.
Went through.
Let's get back to our positions on the couch.
So,
Yeah.
and it's just poetic how Barcy Esports was first relegated to begin with because of their loss against Posse PH, and they just take that back as a statement, clean 2-0 against them.
Exactly. Just like Hiron was talking about earlier, it feels like something straight out of an anime. And the story, it just writes itself right now. Like, as you can see, we started with how many teams, everybody?
16?
14?
14
yeah.
teams, because some of them didn't come on time. But these 14 teams, who would have imagined that this kind of story would unravel before our very eyes?
Atop the bodies and the flames.
And the forgotten names
the
and
forgotten names and champions.
Because there only remains one, and
Yeah.
that is Barcy Esports.
There can be only one atop that hill. The king of the hill, queens of the hill, Barcy Esports.
And if they can show that amount of composure, the amount of strategy, and just camaraderie that you guys were talking about since the beginning of this day, I can't wait to see them as they practice to compete in Singapore next month.
We're gonna have I believe the Thailand teams for that stream next week.
Qualifiers
Qualifiers
next
for
week,
Thailand next week. So we're just gonna build up that roster of teams from Singapore, Malaysia, and this week from the Philippines, and then going to Thailand, and they're all gonna juke it out in just one big battle royale of female teams.
They
Yeah.
must be screaming right now.
Yeah,
In
you
that-
could you
Yeah.
can just imagine
Yeah.
like the emotions that are in the venue right now.
Mhm.
Half of the people are actually just screaming their lungs out. Holy crap! We made it to Singapore. We made it to Singapore. While the other half is probably crying because of how long they've waited for their their competition to
yeah.
claw through the lower brackets, only to be 2-0, and then that must be heartbreaking.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, that narrative was so interesting. Like
The stars aligning.
yeah. Like Posse PH, let's knock out Barcy, and then from the piles of bodies, just Barcy just claws from the ashes. Barcy comes back up and stares Posse PH right in the eyes. I lived, and they take them down.
So yeah,
So
we
speaking-
have been your casters for
Uh-huh.
today. To just wrap things
Yeah.
up, it's Kiora,
Hi.
it's me, Iconic.
Meta.
That's not Hyron.
That's not
Meta,
Hyron. This is
And
Hyron.
then Hyron.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's broadcast, and once again congratulations to
Barcy
Barcy Esports. Yay! See you guys
in Singapore.
Season 2, maybe.
Season 2, yeah.
season 2 maybe.
Hopefully.
Thank you guys so much for watching the broadcast, and yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
also
it for
have-
us. Bye.